A group of hungry killer whales attacked a lonely and defenseless baby whalelet. Seemed the predators were about to tear the calf apart, but in a critical moment, someone completely unexpected came to its rescue. The vast expanses of the Pacific Ocean hide many mysteries. On one ordinary day, a group of marine biologists set out to sea on their research vessel. They planned to study the migration of gray whales, but fate had a different surprise in store for them. Early in the morning, as the sun began to paint the horizon with gentle pink hues, the scientists noticed an unusual sight. In the distance, they spotted a lone whale calf that seemed to be lost in the endless ocean waters. The vessel cautiously approached to get a closer look. The calf appeared frightened and disoriented. It was still very young, clearly in need of its mother's milk and care. The scientists watched with concern as the baby whale spun around in circles, making pitiful sounds as if calling for help. The biologists quickly realized they were looking at a baby blue whale, the largest animal on the planet. But where was its mother? They searched the area for an adult whale, but to no avail. The calf was completely alone in the vast ocean. The team decided not to intervene directly, hoping not to scare the poor creature further, but they continued to monitor the baby. They hoped the mother would soon appear. Hours passed, but the welcome to spa stories where the line between the known and the unknown fades, and the shadows whisper truths untold. Tonight, we delve into the primal connection between humans and animals, a bond forged in trust, sometimes fear, and always in mystery. Situation remained unchanged. The calf continued its desperate attempts to find its mother, drifting farther from shore. By midday, the scientists noticed worrying signs. The calf began to show signs of exhaustion. Its movements became less energetic and its calls grew weaker. The biologists knew that without its mother's milk, the baby wouldn't survive for long. Suddenly, the water around the calf erupted. A pod of orcas had spotted the easy prey. The black and white predators began circling the defenseless calf, tightening their rings. The scientists aboard the vessel watched in horror as the tragedy unfolded. Feeling helpless, orcas, known for their skillful group hunting, began their attack. One of them, the largest, lunged at the calf, aiming for its tail. The strike was precise. The predator grabbed the baby's tail, trying to drag it underwater. The calf fought back desperately, but the odds were against it. Its pitiful cry echoed across the water, causing the observer hearts to ache with sympathy and despair. It seemed that the calf's fate was sealed. Just a few more minutes and the orcas would tear it apart. But then something incredible happened. The sea surface churned, and from the depths emerged huge dark bodies. It was a group of humpback whales. They appeared out of nowhere to rescue a baby of a completely different species. The scientists couldn't believe their eyes. Humpback whales, usually avoiding encounters with orcas, were now deliberately attacking the predators. Their massive bodies crashed into the orca ranks, disrupting the coordinated efforts of the hunters. The sea around the calf turned into a battleground. The humpback whales used their giant tail fins to slam the water, creating powerful waves. These strikes disoriented the orcas, preventing them from focusing on their prey. But the humpbacks didn't stop at diversion tactics. They wielded their massive pectoral fins, which can reach up to 16 feet in length, as weapons. These half-ton fins could deliver deadly blows even to experienced hunters. The orcas, unprepared for such a fierce defense, began to retreat, but two especially large humpbacks weren't about to let them off so easily. They started chasing the predators, driving them further away from the battle site. The scientists aboard the research vessel were in awe. They feverishly recorded every detail of the astonishing event, realizing they had witnessed something truly unique. When the orcas finally disappeared from sight, the team breathed a sigh of relief, seeing that the cat was alive. It was frightened but unharmed. The humpback whales, satisfied that the danger had passed, began to disperse. However, they didn't leave the calf alone. One of the humpbacks, a large female, approached the baby and began nudging it in a specific direction. The biologists realized she was trying to guide the calf to safer waters. For the next few hours, the scientist watched as the humpback whale escorted the calf. She swam beside it, occasionally giving gentle nudges as if trying to comfort the baby after the stressful ordeal. The sight was so touching that some crew members couldn't hold back their tears. By evening, the researchers spotted A group of blue whales in the distance. The humpback whale, as if sensing her mission was coming to an end, began steering the calf toward them. It was as if she was handing the baby over to its own species. The blue whales, noticing the approaching calf, showed interest. One of the females swam closer, carefully examining the baby. After a few minutes, she seemed to make a decision. The calf was accepted into the group, and soon they all began to slowly swim away. Together, the humpback whale watched the group disappear for a while, then turned and swam away. Her mission was complete. She had saved the life of a helpless creature and given it a chance to survive. The scientists were stunned by what they had witnessed. They couldn't believe they had seen such an extraordinary display of interspecies care and altruism. This story forever changed their understanding of whale behavior and emotional intelligence. In the following days, the team continued their research, but their minds kept returning to the incredible rescue. They began gathering information about similar cases and soon discovered this wasn't an isolated incident. It turned out that humpback whales had been observed several times, protecting not only their own kind but also members of other species from orca attacks. This made the scientists question the reasons behind such behavior. They were particularly intrigued by a case that occurred in the waters of Antarctica a few years earlier. A humpback whale had saved a seal from orcas. This incredible event was even caught on camera and stunned the scientific community. According to eyewitness accounts, the seal, fleeing from the orcas, unexpectedly found refuge on the body of the humpback whale. It hid in a groove on the whale's giant side fin. Instead of shaking off the uninvited passenger, the whale actively participated in its rescue. For 20 minutes, the humpback whale swam on its back, holding the seal safely. It maneuvered, leading the orcas away from its ward until the danger had passed. Only then did the whale gently release the seal back into the water. This case, like the one with the calf observed by the team, made scientists rethink their views on whale behavior. They began to understand that these incredible creatures are capable of far more complex ideas than previously believed. The researchers spent months analyzing the collected data and comparing it with other known cases. They concluded that only deep empathy could explain such behavior in humpback whales. It seemed that these enormous marine mammals had an innate drive to protect the weak and vulnerable, even if it meant defending members of other species. This discovery posed new serious questions about the nature of altruism in the animal legislation aimed at protecting marine mammals. New marine reserves were created, and existing ones were expanded. In this way, in a world that often seems cruel and indifferent, there is room for selfless care and compassion, and sometimes these lessons are taught not by humans but by the remarkable inhabitants of the ocean's depths. Who knows, by continuing to study these marine giants, we may not only learn more about nature but also learn something important about ourselves. Remember, the next time you hear the rustle of leaves or feel unseen eyes watching, it could be more than just your imagination.